Hey fam, good morning, good morning, good morning. And so today we are on a roof 3 floors high to do this episode of Back to Eden. Of course, Back to Eden is more of the practical side of the Esther challenge, and you must be wondering, why am I dressed this way? Yes, today we're going to be talking about preparing the body. So I'm actually in my gears, my exercise gears, and we're going to do this, having this conversation. I know somebody's asking if I'm scared being 3 floors high on a roof without a rail. The answer is yes, I am scared. But the way to conquer your fear is actually to face it. Alright, so in preparing our bodies, we think about the physical body. And of course, for those of us who have ever done physical education, whenever we go on the court, whether it's the basketball court, the netball court, the tennis court, our teachers always tell us to warm up. So once we warm up, normally it happens from when you're building a house. My dance teacher would say you start from the foundation going up, right? So before I get into that aspect of our activity, I have some notes for you. But this note is more in relation to the actual challenge itself. So the first thing we want to think about is what we're eating. We want to think about what we're eating. So in order for us to change what we're eating, we have to first acknowledge or recognize where we're at. So here's my challenge for today. You're going to get your diary because you will be tracking your progress. That's what the Esther challenge is about, tracking your progress. And for this week, at the time of this recording, you are going to start writing down what you have had for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks in between. And you're also going to write down the time frame with which you have eaten. So you're not going to cheat, you're not going to try to fix nothing, right? You're just going to write down, you're going to do a food journal, and you're going to write down what it is that you're eating currently. All right? Now, the next thing you're going to do is talk about what you want. Right? So what you want should be something that you could tangibly see. For me, if I can post it, I will. I do not want to be slim. I know that sounds weird. I just want to be a curvy girl. I enjoy being a plus size girl, but I want to be a healthy version of a plus size girl. And so I have this picture. Y'all, I might post this picture. If I do post this picture, don't judge me. But I want to be a very voluptuous curvy girl because I pretty much love how I am right now. And my weight at this point is actually, I think it's 265, and I'm actually coming from somewhere near 300, very pretty close, 290 something. So I'm down now to 265. Yeah, and my skin is tight. Yeah, but I'll tell you the secret to that a little bit later. And that's the next thing. I want you to do a weigh-in. So you're gonna find a scale for those of you who are on a weight loss journey, because not everybody may do this section of the challenge. Some people say they want to maintain, but even if you want to maintain, you can still do this part of it. If you want to maintain, you don't need to write down your weight, but we'll be having persons coming in to talk about weight maintenance. For those who want to increase in weight and mass, we'll be talking about that in a future episode. But for somebody like me who wants to take off the weight because my doctor says, you know, it's not good, then you're going to write down your weight now. And then you're going to write down your ideal weight, right? And you are going to next call for backup. Now, from my experience, a weight loss journey is not necessarily something that you can do alone, because there are some days where you will feel highly motivated, and then there are days where you just want to pull the covers and nobody get up, none at all. So my accountability person is actually my best friend. I know she's not a thick girl like me. She pretty much controls her weight. She's actually a vegan. But she will chime in every now and again and say, have you been doing your exercises? Have you been doing your push-ups, sit-ups, whatever your routine is? And sometimes I tell her yes, and sometimes I'm not that honest. I'm sorry, Julia. But you need to check her out though, because she is called the Boss Teacher and she starts a brand new podcast, and I have a right to advertise this in the middle because she's my best friend. All right, so you're going to get reinforcement, whether it is a group, maybe it's a group at church. If my church has like a health and fitness department, so a group of us who are on this journey, we've bonded together, we've created a WhatsApp group. It's always good to have community. It's always good to have community to back you up in certain things that you're doing, so you don't feel like you're on this journey alone. And there's much to be said about the weight loss journey for those who will be on the weight loss side of it. Some days you'll plateau, some days you'll really see a difference, and some days you're like, do I even want this? Yeah, but at the end of the day, we want what we want, and we're going to take 6 months to get it. And also, you are going to do a commitment letter to yourself. Now, I'm going to be posting my letter, my commitment letter, because it's mind, body, and spirit. So there should be 3 letters, but we're doing body today. To myself, where weight loss is concerned, because not only do I want to be healthy for my body, you know, and my doctor says, okay, Marsha, you need to lose some weight, but I want to be good for my husband. You know, men are visual creatures. Did I just say that on public social media? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Right? So I want to look good. I want to feel good in my own skin. I remember the last time I had like a dramatic weight loss, till them tell me not to take off no more weight. I was probably down to like 185, and this was maybe when I just left school, and you know, we had a lot of walking and school was stressful, so I had dropped a lot of pounds. But I felt good in my body, I looked good in my clothes, and you know, it was just an exciting time. And then I got comfortable, and then this happened. All right, so you should do a commitment letter to yourself, and you know, you mentioned why. So you want to do it because to live longer. We know that God holds our days in his hands, so whether or not, but if he does allow us to live, we want to live abundantly, right? So it could be for your children, it could be to be an example to your siblings and all of that. It could be just to look good in that little black dress. LBD, that little black dress, right? So it's all up to you as to why you're doing it. When you are on preparation for your body, what's also important, especially to the ladies, I know there are no men on this challenge, your gears. I have a lot of gears, and you'll be seeing them throughout the challenge, coming in and out and all these things. So I have my gloves for when I'm doing weightlifting, or if I'm doing a push-up or something. I have a knee brace. Listen guys, what is important is that you protect yourself when you are exercising. Protect yourself. There are a lot of things I did not know, and so because I used to do like kickboxing and stuff, yeah, so I have a bad knee because of that, and so I have to be wearing a knee brace. And yes, I've been to the doctor. Yes, I've gotten osteo stuff to take, drink tablets, ointments, stuff like that. But if I had been more careful, I would not have had to spend so much money on medicine anyway. So of course you must exercise, and I would recommend this is a personal note, that you exercise in something that you are comfortable in, something that makes you feel confident. But yeah, my gears are fly, you know, and you have your sneakers and your socks, things like that. Make sure that you always have water, because you don't want to be dehydrated. I'm going to talk about a water challenge. Yeah, we need to talk about a 1 gallon water challenge. Some of us don't even like to drink water, but I'm not going to preach to you about that this morning, because you need water. Alright guys, so that's one of the things, your gears. You know what you will need to exercise, and you will also need endurance, right? So when you write a commitment letter to yourself, I'm going back in order to come forward, you're going to be pasting it on your wall. So when you get that picture of the body that you desire, and you have your commitment letter, when you get up, however time you schedule yourself to get up and exercise, you're going to be like, okay Marsha, okay girl, I got this. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself, you know, it's biblical. You never say must answer yourself. The Bible says you must speak to yourself. So you're going to speak to yourself in the mornings when you get up, when you look at that picture and you say, this is this is the body that I desire for whatever reason, right? And finally, I want to introduce to you the RI28 program. Now this program, I collaborate with RI28 to bring the best in fitness, and you can go same place on my website under Kingdom Fitness to find out more about RI28. So that's the exercise challenge. They just started a challenge for February, and it's a 28-day cycle. So you clock in for 28 days and clock out, right? So you would take a before and after picture. I need to talk about that too. I didn't talk about it, did I? Right. So you take a picture and they give you instructions, and you take your picture and they give you a simple meal plan. And I know most times when we do these American challenges, we look at the menu and we're like, what is oysters? We don't eat that in Jamaica. But the recipes that they have on there are very, very it's stuff that we can find every day. And of course, typical Jamaican have an idea of at least how to eat well. We know we need our veggies, we know we need our fruits, we know we need water. And guys, for the love of exercise, you need rest. And I speak to you and I encourage you as I encourage me, because if y'all know me, I keep going like clockwork because there's so much stuff to do, right? So you will have coaching, and there's a community that you'll be a part of once you clock in, and you'll have persons sharing their pictures, sharing their stories, and you'll be able to see on my website the difference, because some persons clock in for maybe 2-3 months and then they clock out, but you can do it 28 days per time. And guess what? It is cheaper than going to the gym. I know, it's amazing, right? It's cheaper than going to the gym. Right now, if you should have a gym membership, you are bound to pay maybe $6,000 something, and that does not include transportation to get to the gym, and it doesn't include food and all these things. And the RI28 challenge is roughly $43 or 40 something dollars, and that's easy, and you still get a full body workout. So you do your weights, you do your cardio, you don't need any equipment. Yes guys, you do not need any equipment, but you are able to get a full workout. Like I say, the results speak for themselves. So log on to my website today and go to Kingdom Fitness, and you will see the results of the RI28. What I want to talk to you as well about is, and I know I forgot this, is your schedule. Can we talk about schedules for a quick minute? Because it's hard to find time for yourself, you know, because we are so much of a go-getter kind of people. I think Jamaican people are aggressive. When I say aggressive, I don't mean the attitude aggressive. I mean aggressive towards goals and wanting to accomplish stuff that, you know, we want in life. We want it, and we just get up and we just go get it. But we have to be extremely organized, guys. So I recommend that during this challenge you sit down and you create constructively a timetable. And this timetable, well, I'm gonna share mine with you because I have to be real. I have to be very real. Just remember that you need 6 to 8 hours of sleep. That's the first thing you need to remember. My day starts as early as 4 a.m. because I need to spend time with God, and I need to spend time with God without distraction. And then right after that, I go into my exercise. And listen, exercise doesn't mean that you do it one time a day, and it doesn't have to be like this high energy stuff. Right? So like before I go to bed, I try to stretch. Stretching is good for your body. Can I say good for your body? Stretching feels good, and it helps you to sleep, especially those who have a really hard time. My hair's blowing in the wind. A really hard time sleeping. You can do stretches before you go to bed, and I'll try to post some for you. And of course, when it comes down to exercise, because sometimes you'll be doing the same thing every day, because repetition actually helps to build your system. It will change up from time to time, but you know, I have created a playlist that I enjoy. So sometimes when I get bored with the music that they're playing in the background, no days off, no days off, no days off, right? I turn that down and I pop in my favorite beats. So I will try to post a list of songs that I really and truly enjoy while I'm exercising. Now, these songs are not Jamaican songs, not all of them, but I really enjoy them and they put my mind in a place to work. So when I have on my Wi-Fi earphones and I'm listening to like a Canton Jones, for those who know Canton Jones, or a Uncle Reese, and I'm just there and I'm just like vibing and everything, by the time I quint, half an hour is up, and that's the next thing. The workouts on RI28 are just for 30 minutes every day. So we're giving up 30 minutes of our time and dedicating our temples to God and taking care of our temples and being good stewards. Isn't that amazing? That is absolutely amazing. So guys, remember we said that 1/10 of 24 hours is actually 2 hours. You can break that down. You understand? You are pleasing God by taking care of yourself. Not just your mind, your devotion, your body with exercise, your mind with powerful positive thoughts. You get up every morning, you're grateful for something. Just see all the positive, always see the positives. That's how you survive up here, you know. And then you go in on your devotion and you spend time with God and you love on him. And then there's the body where you say, God, this is my temple and I want to be a good steward of my temple, and this is what I want to do to think there. So at the end of this journey, we are going to show our before and after pictures. And listen, do not pressure yourself. Do not pressure yourself. We have 6 months, right? So you have time and you go at your own pace. You go at your own pace. For some persons, they have high metabolism. It's that thing that makes fat burn really, really fast. So you know, some slim people where just eat and you don't see where the food going, and then people like me will just smell the food and then all of a sudden my arm is jiggling. No. One of the tenets that MJM is built on is friendships, partnerships, and relationships. And with that in mind, I want to express deepest condolences to one of my best friends and business partners, Mrs. Trisha Bryan Lewis. Tragically, her husband and her brother was taken from her in December, and I chose to do this in the middle of the program because we're talking about having a healthy body, and the family had started a juice company smack in the middle of St. Anne's Bay, and they would have been one of the partners on the Esther Challenge. So guys, I'm endorsing this product. I really love it. Natural flavors, no sugar, and because she's a nutritionist by profession, they have different juice blends for different reasons. And so I want you guys, in honor of the I Am Esther Challenge and in honor of the family that has this loss, that you go out and you purchase. You can check them out on any social media network. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get it clear. On any social media network under the brand Liquids, and that is LIKWIDS. That's Liquids. Trisha, the MJM family, just want to say that we express deepest condolences, and girl, personally, I love you. You're like my sister, and I'm here for you whenever, whatever. All right guys, so back to our regular program. Hi guys, good morning again, and I pulled the camera in closer because of the bonus feature for today, which is going to be Marsha J's video diary. And I thought it necessary because I think it's therapeutic for me, and I really do take this Esther Challenge seriously. And when I designed the challenge, I never wanted it to be so public. I never wanted it to be so public. I just wanted it to be something personal. But then, you know, it's almost as if the Lord started to minister to me and say, you know, somebody might need encouragement, so you should open it up. And when he said open it up, I really never thought that it also meant being authentic. And that's one of the things that I keep talking about on this challenge, being authentic and being really truthful about a few things. So this morning, my truth about my body. I have always grown up being a chubby girl, always. I mean, I look at my baby pictures, I've always been chubby. And however, society never really accepted that fact. So I grew up being teased because of my weight. I grew up being called names, and if you've ever been there, then you can identify with what I'm saying. I remember going to high school, because I went to high school in Brownstown, and there are certain drivers that wouldn't even bring me on their bus because I was fat, and they told me that I was taking up too much space. You guys, I was just a kid. Do you know what that does to a child's mental process? You know, and from there on, I just started to have low self-esteem. It never really mattered what my parents said. They're your parents, they're supposed to be rooting for you, whether or not. So I never really took it seriously at the time. And it got worse in university. I never used to use a mirror. And I would just not care, you know. I would go to school, I'd come home. I never really took care of myself because I thought I was ugly. I thought I was unwanted. I thought I was unlovable. You know, even when I would hang out with my friends, I was always like a fifth wheel. And I don't get it. You know, this movie called Duff, Designated Ugly Fat Friend, I kind of felt like a Duff. And even when there were group date nights, everybody would always have somebody, and I would just be like the fifth wheel, the girl that just came along and just hang out with them and then went home. I mean, of course, when I went out, I had a good time. I learned how to mask how I was feeling. And I've also, guys, I've been set up on blind dates before, and persons break it up after the first date because, you know, they said no, she's too fat. And everybody has a right to want what they want, but sometimes it's not what you do, it's how you do it, right? So I remember this one time I was dating this guy, and it was a surprise date. We called him something. What kind of date I called him? I don't remember. Right, and we met at Scotches, and you know, we had a good time. He was a Christian, you know, nothing weird and so on. And he was a complete gentleman, guys, believe it. He was like, absolutely, he was gorgeous, and his personality was amazing. And he would open the door and he would just be a real gentleman. He was slim, he was tall, he was like every girl's dream. And I started to realize that whenever he called, he would be like, hey, how you doing? You know, regular greetings and so on. Then he'd be, I said, what you mean by that? Then he would say, yeah man, you're alright, you're alright, you sleep good, you lose weight, you gain weight. And every single time he would call, he would bring that up, and then it just kind of sent off a red flag. You know, this guy did not accept who I was, and that plunged my self-esteem further. And it really affected my life, you know. So I've always wanted to be serious about my weight, and that's the thing. Sometimes you don't even, aside from heredity, which is no longer an excuse, there are different reasons why people gain weight. For me, it was emotional eating, and guys, I did not recognize this, or even I wasn't even acquainted with this term until when I started to work at the bank. And one of my coworkers said to me, Marsha, do you realize that whenever you're stressed out, you snack a lot? What's up with that? And that was the very first time my eyes were opened and I recognized girl, you have a problem. You have an emotional eating problem, you know. And I never knew where to go for help. I never knew, you know, something. And then I started to do my research on emotional eating, and then I started to reassess my life, my thought life, and I was going through a lot. Listen, if you're watching this and you have kids, pray for them during the teen years, because it's an early 20s. It's some of the most craziest and emotional years for them, you know. And if you can remember back in your time, unless your life was absolutely fabulous, mine wasn't. It was just a very turmoil. It was just a lot of turmoil that was just going on, a lot of turmoil that was happening, you know. And I really cried out to God, and I was like, God, I can't do this anymore. You see bullies at school and they walk around so confident. At the time, you know, you don't know that bullies are really insecure. And they walk around so confident. You know, I was not the kind of girl that will go bathroom every minute and clean with shoes and brush up with hair, use toothbrush and comb up with baby hair and all of these things. I was not that girl. I was like a regular girl. I never spoke much. My teachers had a problem with it, but they didn't realize that I was really suffering from self-esteem issues, you know. And it was when I went, I don't remember what happened, where the change came in terms of loving me. And that's one of the important things about this body challenge. In order for you to get to where you want to go, you have to love yourself where you are at. Love yourself where you are at. When you hear me say I don't necessarily want to be a slim person, I really don't, you know. I really don't. I just want to be reasonably happy, and I want to make sure that my clothes drip good on me. But I appreciate myself, and when I pushed myself during JCDC in terms of going to the gym, and the gym came on board in terms of assisting me to get that look, I felt amazing. For the very first time, I could actually stand and look in the mirror naked. I was like, yes girl, yes, you know. And then you book that Missy song, so I like gonna see you without looking at me with a fucking custom mirror, and you'd bought the song and you would just, your confidence was just like, yes. And it was an amazing feeling, and I wanted to keep that feeling, because it's about my mind and you know, where I want my mind to be. I don't want to be singing and worried that the camera is catching the bulge at the side, or, you know, all of these vain, I call them vain things. I don't want to be worried about those things. If I'm ministering, I just want to focus on ministry. You understand? I don't want to know that my feet keep swelling up, or I feel a chest pain because my heart is under a lot of pressure because of all of this weight. You know, I was talking about the point of people having weight issues for different reasons, right? So I also had a hormone imbalance, which is crazy stuff. So it was harder for the weight to come off. And then I was getting hormones, which was adding to the weight. And then the same doctor who gave me the hormones was telling me, you need to exercise. So I said, doc, I don't understand. You tell me to take off weight, but yesterday you're giving me medicine that's gonna make me put on weight. And that just made matters worse. And then they tried to give me another medicine to counter that medicine so that I could lose weight. So my weight loss journey has been traumatic. It really has. And it's all about your mind, you know, and where you place your mind. And for this challenge, and this is what I want for myself, I just want to feel good in my body. That's all I want. You know, I want to keep moving. I want to keep the joints going. I want to keep my heart rate up. That is the most important thing right now. So I know some of you might be asking if I've ever met or dated anyone that have accepted me where I am and who I am, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt, yes. And if you're watching this, I want to say thank you for loving me, for where I am at and where I am. It doesn't really matter whether or not I gain weight, lose weight for that person, but it wasn't a problem. And for the very first time, in terms of a guy, you know, it was for real. The connection was real. And I'm saying this too because at the time of this recording, it's also Valentine's Day. And loving yourself is important. And staying around positive energy in terms of people that love you for you and not just love you because you're slim or you're fat or you're whatever, that's healthy. That's healthy love. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's what's inside that counts. It's really and truly what's inside that counts. I need to wrap this up. This is way too long, but I just thought I'd share that with you today. You hear the birds? Isn't that amazing? They're singing. And just love yourself, guys. Hug yourself, love yourself. Think about what makes you beautiful. Oh yeah, I forgot to share this too, that during the process of me healing, and all of that medication and everything, I lost some of my hair, and that made me worst insecure. I would cry for days on end. You know, the song that says, if walls could talk, if my pillow could talk. And since then I've been trying to restore, and I'm so happy that now I'm working with doctors that are willing to help me get to a place of normality where that is concerned. You know, some persons are blessed, they don't have that kind of issue, and if you don't, listen, give God thanks, but don't be hard on the person that actually has that issue, because you don't know their story. Alright guys, so I am off to work. I've been up since 5, and this is my video diary for February 14, 2019. Let's see what God has in store.